online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.
You're listening to Russell Brand on Radio 2. I'm in Manchester. I am joined, of course, by Matt Morgan. He's down in London in charge of switches. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Russell.
Are you all right?
Just about.
Good lad. Mr. G, the poet laureate of the show, he's also down there. Are you all right, Mr. G? You're allowed a microphone when I'm not there, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I've got to share Matt's.
Good. Because I don't like the idea.
He's allowed a chair.
He gets a chair. Good. All right. Well, that's okay, as long as there is some benefit to my absence. Thank you very much for all your comments about Live Earth last week. Oh, that were an adventure. This opinion seems to be divided on whether it was any good. I saw something in The Sun today said it weren't no good, it was pointless, but then I saw something in the Mirror saying sales of a certain type of light bulb has gone up by 110%. So there you are. I mean, I think that's what it was. That was one of the main things they kept mentioning to us. They're saying we just got to sell these light bulbs. You know, I think, to tell you the truth, I think in years to come we'll discover that Al Gore is a heavy investor in a certain type of eco light bulb, and he's just giggling away in his brightly lit mansion, all nude and taut, stuffing himself with vegetables grown on his own allotment. I had a migraine, of course, last week. I tried not to go on about it, but didn't succeed. I got this email here from Vicky. Dear all, listen to last week's show on the internet. Sorry to hear Russell had a migraine. After hearing you had one, I looked up migraine in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. She believes any illness is caused by negative emotions/thoughts. I've had a look at that book, Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, and she thinks, yeah, she herself, like, I think this is true, cured herself of cancer just out of sheer, I mean, you could snort, out of sheer willpower.
It's offensive to say that every illness is caused by negative emotions, because say someone's got, you know, a really terrible disease, then that's like saying, you want to cheer up, mate.
Yeah, I suppose it does seem a little bit like a slur on the sickly, some of the people in society to whom we should be being most supportive and kind, rather than undermining and saying it's your own fault, cheer up for Christ's sake. But I think she's saying that even those emotions aren't your own fault. It just puts you in a position of control and authority over your conditions rather than feeling like a victim. Now, what she reckons I need to do, this woman who is acting as Louise Hay's kind of emissary, says, for migraine, it says on page 185, she says, it's a dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life, and sexual fears. But, like, of those three things, dislike of being driven, I quite like to be driven. I certainly wouldn't like to go anywhere on the bus. Resisting the flow of life, I don't know. Do I resist the flow of life?
No.
I'll go right where the old flow of life takes me. Sexual fears. I don't know what that could be.
Because you've probably run out. Women.
I know there's loads more, because
there'll be another kiss and tell. Maybe that's a sexual fear, isn't it?
There's new people are turning 18 every single day, so you're never ever going to run out. That's the glorious beauty of living on a heavily populated planet like Earth. Anyway, she says that what I have to do, this woman Vicky, the emissary of Louise Hay, the new thought pattern she recommends is you have to say this to yourself, I relax into the flow of life and let life provide all that I need easily and comfortably. Life is for me. I think you have to keep saying it. Anyway, she says, I love the show, hope you're feeling better. P.S. think you should stick to bookie-wook, don't be driven by publishers. See, and she's using the word driven there to suggest that the being driven in terms of the old title of bookie-wook is one of the things giving me a bloody great migraine, which ain't too far from the truth, so maybe we can believe in her. Matthew, why do you think that, don't you think that you could cure, you get like about an illness a day, perhaps you could cure them with chanting?
Chanting?
Well, just saying to yourself, I allow myself to succeed. I probably haven't got all these tumours I keep counting up and down my thighs, for example, or whatever your latest condition is.
But when people say that I'm a hypochondriac, why have I got actual symptoms?
That's what hypochondriacs say. They think they've got actual symptoms.
No, they think they do, but I have.
Well, go on then.
I'm all right now. I've got a small pain in my rib.
Small rib pain. Hold on, let me look that up in Louise Hay's book.
I can see you on a webcam, by the way. Well, so there's no point in miming or whatever that was, the noise of a book. Sound like actually a frisbee or something. Some throwing knife.
Well, actually, that was the actual sound of me looking through Louise Hay's book, coming to the section entitled Small Rib Pain, Repressed Homosexuality Towards Co-Host and Mentor Russell Brand.
Mentor?
Mentor, that's right. You've got a pain right up in your ribs due to this repressed homosexuality.
I think I preferred you when you were on codeine.
I was a laugh when I was on the old codeine, wasn't I?
Did you have a terrible crash?
Yeah, God, you should have seen me a couple of hours later. I was moping around that house, fits of tears, trying to find some new ornament to put in the bedroom to cheer myself up. The house is coming on lovely now.
Yeah,
Matt,
it's really nice, isn't it?
why do you keep referring to it as David Furnish's shag pile?
Because it looks like, honestly, if Lauren Llewellyn Bowen went round there, he'd go, oh no, sorry, I've got to get out of this place, give me a headache.
Blimey, it's a bit camp in here, isn't it?
It's really camp. There's mad things on the wall.
What, like?
A goat skull covered in diamonds.
That diamond-encrusted goat skull is the height of good taste and elegance, you yobbo. What do you know about
What
goat
about those
skulls?
chairs that were on eBay that claim to be from your house?
I had them stupid banqueting chairs delivered to my house by that lunatic woman posing as an interior designer, right? And they look like is the Donnie Darko rabbit. They look like them as a chair. Great big lop-eared chairs. Terrifying they were. They'd be all right if you lived in Alice in Wonderland and you were constantly on opiates. Probably when I was on the migrant leave, I'd have liked those chairs, but they were like great big high-backed banqueting chairs. They're now for sale on eBay, claiming to be my chairs. They were just badly
You just
delivered.
endorse them.
I don't endorse them. Do not buy those chairs off eBay.
You never even unwrapped them, so...
I never even unwrapped them. I sat on one once, done a blow-off, and then my willy done a burp, and I ran into the garden. And I put down my recent mental problems to those chairs, so for God's sake, don't buy them. Awful things they were.
There's some other lovely features in your house, isn't there?
Go on, go through my lovely features.
There's a little landing devoted to Peter Cook.
Cookie corner, that's lovely, that is. That's nice.
That's quite nice.
Another little bejewelled skull there, a couple of Peter Cook books, a picture that Lynn Cook, Peter Cook's widow, sent me of Peter, a signed photograph of Pete and Dad. Lovely little things in Cookie Corner.
I don't know if you're incontinent or what, but so I don't want to mock you, but you've got a toilet about an inch from your bed.
That's bad design as well, isn't it? To have a toilet an inch from the bed. Fortunately, that's being replaced by a gorgeous black toilet soon, so it won't look so out of place in my
Fill it
gorgeous...
with ice and put a bottle of champagne in there.
I might very well do, but what if I still sat on it in the night? I'll be a proper champagne Charlie. Christ, don't know if I do. Yeah, this is from Dean Taylor from Wigan via Brisbane. What a lovely fella he is. Good day, Matt. Matt first. Russell, Mr. G, Mr. Nibs and Mikey. Nick is now a fully fledged member of this squadron and ought to be mentioned. Listening to the podcast in recent weeks, I've noticed that Russell's League of fans get a lot of mention, i.e. Petter Survey, God bless those guys at Petter, Coconut Lodge fan mail, the list goes on. I'd just like to make you aware that there are a group of die-hard Matt Morgan fans. They'd have to be die-hard. He gets a new illness every 5 minutes. Die-hard Matt Morgan fans on Facebook. They've set up the Matt Morgan Appreciation Society. There are 180 people involved at the minute, but we're multiplying daily, like the amoeba we are. And what we lack in numbers, we more than make up for in spirit and determination. Just thought I'd make you aware of it. There you are, Matt. Look at that, a Facebook Appreciation Society.
The word though, they appreciate me.
Yeah.
They don't worship me.
No. They sort of just nod.
Yeah.
It's quite good what
It's
he did
better
there.
than just if there was air where he is.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Oh, there's a service station and I need a wee. I appreciate it. I'm not going to go crazy because it's, what's the big deal? It's just a service station.
Kind of connoisseurs, probably. They're, a more mature person than the Russell Brand fan site, perhaps.
Hold on, I'm just checking the address of this. Dean Taylor, Broadmoor Mental Institution, Psychoville, London, Crime Land. Well, there you go. That's undermined the whole thing. No, they're a lovely bunch. Here, so have you seen this, funny thing? Listen to this, right? If this is from, saying that Morrissey's come out with...
Morrissey, you're a big Morrissey fan, aren't you?
I don't know. How would you have ever picked a thing like that up, Matthew? You're a brilliant detective. Where is it? There's a lovely thing by in The Sun, right, about dear old Morrissey, who, as we know, is a avid vegetarian and
can see
do-gooder.
you frantically searching for this.
I'm not frantic.
Licking your finger like an old lady. You don't need to do that.
Yes, you do. That helps the old lady lick.
Going through her K's catalogue. Look at you. I can see you. The piano behind you.
Yeah, but people won't be able to see that now because this is a pre-recorded show, so they'll be looking up on the webcam, hoping for a glimpse of lovely old Russ, and what they'll get is probably will be Mark Radcliffe back in his Manchester studio. This is the Manchester studio, Matt, where it's actually little bits of Lego. That's not an attack on Manchester, it's an attack on the BBC in Manchester for having bits of Lego on their mixing desk. There are bits of Lego, aren't there, Matthew?
Yes, there are. It's half built of Lego.
A half built of Lego, there you are, see. Yeah, I listened to this from Biz in The Sun today. Morrissey obviously doesn't think much of Madonna wearing fur. At a gig organised by animal rights group PETA in the US, he said, "I wouldn't be surprised if she made that African boy she adopted into a coat and wore him for 15 minutes, then threw him away." Dear old Morrissey, he certainly knows how to come out with something vaguely offensive. Here's a lovely email from James in Bishop Stortford. Dear Russ, Matt and G, well done on the Live Earth thing. You've done well spite of that headache. After your recent successful plea to make listeners vote for you to become the sexiest vegetarian, I thought I'd bring it to your attention that you are nominated for the National TV Award for Best Entertainment Presenter. People can vote for you by visiting www.nationaltvawards.com.
Oh, don't cheat at another poll.
It's not cheating, it's called manipulating. The winner's podium would be a good platform to launch the revolution, don't you think, says James. Don't you think it would be a good time for you now to mention what Ant and Dec are really like? In particular, their somewhat controversial views on Hitler, fox hunting and bringing back slavery. Well, it does need to be put out there, James, you know, that Ant and Dec, they're living in their ivory towers, and they them lads. No, we met Declan in Los Angeles. He was ever so lovely, really nice, and I met Ant once. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't win that National TV Award. I think it might be nice to get that.
What's the actual title of it?
Best Entertainment Presenter. Do I not want to be that?
Well, hang on, you haven't done any entertainment presenting of this year yet.
That's true. Nothing's been very entertaining, you're right. I'd looked back at some of it, and it was a lot of guff.
Oh, actually, no, because you've done the Brits. No,
yes, Brits.
No Big Brother this year.
Thoroughly entertaining. Hold on, but wasn't Celebrity Big Brother? That was this year.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Right. Nice little award for old Russ, nationaltvawards.com. Go on, vote for us, because it'll be ever so good if I win that award. I'll go, and I'll say stuff. You can get me to say stuff.
Oh, thank you. I'll go, and that'll blow your mind.
Imagine that, I'll be there. You know, I'll probably wear a coat or something. Here's a nice... Yeah, I would like that. Go to that, make me win it. Go on. It's
Who are
anyway,
the other people?
well, probably people that thoroughly deserve it, I imagine, like Jonathan Ross and Dec, isn't it, normally? And Graham Norton and, you know, I don't know.
Oh, good old Naughty.
I call him Norty because he is naughty. I likes him. Well, so I don't know who's up for it. I've not looked. This is the first I've heard of it. But now I know it exists, I'd half like to win it because it'll be unusual, wouldn't it? It'd be good for me to win that award. National, I think it's on ITV, that programme. It'd be a whole new different audience for the revolution. On which note, this is from Dave Smith. Found this quote from Lenin for you, re the revolution. All our lives we fought against exalting the individual, against the elevation of the single person, and long ago we're over and done with the business of a hero, and here it comes up again, the glorification of one personality. This is not good at all. I'm just like everybody else. And that is the sort of sentiments I'd like to endorse from here inside my great big stupid hairdo and persona. But then Dave Smith continues, but then again a bald ugly man would say that. Lead us, Russell. All of your fellow champagne socialists, I don't drink, at King's College, Cambridge are behind you. That's good to have the intelligentsia behind us. Well, we need them.
What on earth have you done to convince the intelligentsia to join you?
Probably, Matt, it's my natural charisma and charm and instinctive revolutionary tendencies. Like Fidel Castro said of Guevara, he was the revolution, he had it all about him. And perhaps I've got this essence, so there's no need me to sit around reading about bleeding Engels and Marx and economics and what you'd actually have to do to have a successful revolution. Perhaps I've just innately got it within me. Here he goes. We're right behind you, says Dave Smith of King's College, Cambridge. Perhaps we could start the revolution here, smash up the chapel real good. Although I think that chapel's probably lovely, Dave, isn't it? probably after the revolution. Will we still have chapels? Yes, but they won't be about religion.
They'll have statues of you in them.
Lovely great gold statues encrusted with diamonds, decorated like my own fair home. They're not real diamonds, I couldn't afford that. P.S. Why not call the book My Bookie Wook, from any bag of skag down and out and edgy to any A-list slag and Europe's fittest veggie? That's a good rhyme, Dave Smith. Well done. You've proven yourself to be a noble revolutionary, and I'm very happy, because I remember when I first started to be able to go out with girls that had been to Oxford or Cambridge, it was a very exciting time, because them well-educated girls, a lot of them, they're up for it. Matthew, have you ever been out of an Oxbridge educated woman?
No.
You want to, mate? I'll tell you what. If there are any Oxbridge educated women that fancy a bit of rough, and when I say rough, I mean the rough. Like, imagine Bill Sykes, if you can, from Oliver Twist. Imagine going out with him if he had a crystal meth habit, then takes you on a date down Wimpy. That'll be the kind of evening you could have with Matt Morgan.
Why do you always say that I'm on crystal meth? You can't even get it in this country, can you?
I don't know. I've never tried. I've never had no crystal meth.
That's slanderous.
It didn't come into fashion. No, you're very good. You only have the occasional glass of wine, to my knowledge, because of your various trumped-up allergies. Revolution, say Stephanie and Ben. Russell, we're proud of you. My name's Stephanie. My mate and Ben and I just became school reps through backwards dealing. Oh, well done.
School reps? What's that mean? Representatives of the school?
They're repping it, baby. They're repping the school.
Prefects.
It says, look, what it says here, they continue to Steph and Ben, it means we're in power. We both think you're freaking amazing. We've decided to put your revolution in place. The whole school is full of humming kids who don't do A-levels and spend all day backcombing their hair. Plan is take over our year, then the school, then pretty much the whole world. Thank you very much for your inspiration. We'll tell you when we've revolutionised everything. Good work, Stephanie.
I watched
and Ben.
that the Michael Moore film Sicko.
Oh, is it good? What did you watch it
It's
online?
brilliant, actually. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
There's a bit in it where Tony Benn,
Yeah.
you know him.
Yeah, Anthony Wedgwood Benn, he was originally known as. He's a Labour MP and sort of old-style kind of socialist, the likes of which we don't have much in this country no more.
Yeah, he said that because obviously in America they pay for all their healthcare, and there's loads of people who can't afford it and stuff.
Yeah.
And Michael Moore's interviewing Tony Benn, and Tony Benn says if the government tried to take away the NHS, there would be a revolution in Britain.
Really?
People would rise up.
Why do you think? So what? The NHS is somehow is ingrained in our culture.
We
fed up
think.
with-
Yeah, that's how we think we should be looked after by the government. You should get free healthcare. In
So-
America, if you're in a car crash, right,
Yeah.
and you're unconscious and you're taken to the hospital in an ambulance,
Yeah.
then you get a bill for that ambulance ride, you get all these sort of things. And if sometimes your health insurance company will say, no, we didn't organise that, or didn't tell you that ambulance company was okay, you should have told us before, even though you're unconscious and in an accident.
That's terrible.
So they say, no, you've got to foot the bill for that. It's mental, their system.
Yeah, that's no way to carry out an health system. America needs the revolution much more than we do, don't they?
But if you want a revolution in this country, Russell, I reckon you should start trying to get rid of the NHS.
Perhaps when we do our interview with Gordon Brown, well done everyone, hassle Gordon Brown's office and the BBC, because I think that's going to happen, that interview with Gordon Brown. It was in the Sun
You better
this
do
week.
some research.
Well, I'm just going to go in, come on mate, what's going on?
I bet you just go and go, Gordon Brown, you like that song?
Gordon Brown, are you textured like Sun? Go on, give us a cuddle. I won't, I'm going to do a proper good interview. Come on, you better think of some questions as well. Everyone think of some questions that they'd like me to ask Gordon Brown. Send it to us here on what's our text number?
88 to 91.
88 to 91. Couldn't be
And
easier.
that's a 2, not a 2.
Yeah, no, there ain't a number called to. There's 88 to 91. Send us, your questions for Gordon Brown. We won't get them to next week now because we're pre-recorded, but send them anyway. Or russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Yeah, because we're going to interview Gordon Brown all nice. And what we'll do is we'll say there's quite a powerful movement among the kids at King's College, Cambridge, among Ben and Stephanie's school. We've got some bloke in the army. There's that other lad we've got who's, what's his name? Dave Tinker. That lad who's a Prime Minister in his classroom or something. All these people are right up for a revolution, so we'll get Gordon Brown right up against it. I've just emailed you, says Danny in Mansfield, over the past few weeks, and I ain't been mentioned. Me and my friend Steph will be with you the whole way during this revolution. The Madonna set at Live Earth confused me very much. What was she doing? Who was that bloke? Was he possessed? I liked that digger bloke. He was alright, wasn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember what the band's called that they're from, but everyone texted us to
People,
tell us.
yeah, that we should be respectful to them, didn't they?
Yeah, they're good, apparently.
Digger. We
Can
liked
you
him.
see that piano behind you?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a piano behind me, yeah.
Can you play something?
Yes. Now...
You went to drama school, obviously you could play something.
Of course I can. Don't think I was wasting the government's money while being trained at the expense of Essex County Council at the Drama Centre London. I was there learning. Now, my favourite track when I'm 64. No, now I'm going to play EastEnders. Woo! Yeah, man!
Is that what they tell you at drama school, to play how EastEnders makes you feel?
EastEnders makes me feel radical! It's making me feel turned on!
Can't you play anything on a piano?
No, can you? How am I meant to know how to play a piano?
Everyone knows something on a piano.
Not me, mate. I know acting, comedy, talking, that's it. That's where my talents end, I'm afraid, and quite frankly, they'd scarcely begun during that list. So hold on, why should I be able to play the piano?
Imagine you could.
I've got no time to learn to play a piano. I'm under enormous pressure. I don't know if I've mentioned it before the show when you're like getting me down, giving me a hard time when I'm trying my hardest just to make life work.
We weren't.
Yes, she was. Bullying it was. I've seen it hundreds of times.
Online, on digital, on the edge of a tantrum at any minute.
It's Russell Brand. Whee! There he goes. This is from Matt Gowshall. Me and my mate Scampy are in year 8 and in music at the moment, which is rubbish. Mr. G rocks. Well done, Matt. Year 8, how old are they?
You should always have a mate called Scampy.
Of course you should. That's probably why my childhood was such a sham. There was no one called Scampy for miles around. All there was them Scampy fries, and we all know what they smell like, don't we? Right, kids? Right, so here, what about the world's tallest man meeting the world's tiniest little man?
I know.
What a bonkers and unlikely meeting.
It must have been set up.
Because that couldn't have just happened on a dating game show. What if they'd gone speed dating and against all odds we're perfect for each other? What do you know? He's much too little, I'm much too tall. We're the original odd couple. Pop him in your pocket, wander down the shops. So
the little one doesn't. I think he looks like a thumb with a face drawn on it.
Yeah, he looks like when someone's had an accident and the tip of their fingers got cut off and then fingers grown back. In fact, Nick, our agent's had that happen to him, and he looks a bit like the world's smallest man. Give me, right round the finger area, give me a high five. This is from the Mirror today. Give me a high five, pal. The world's tallest man, Bao Zishan, meets the little fella hoping to be recognised as the shortest. I wonder if, like, they're... I mean, I hope this doesn't sound like an ignorant question, but I wonder if, like, he looks to me like he's completely compass mentis and everything, the world's shortest man. I mean, he's in this photograph, he's looking skyward, he looks quite reflective and contemplative, like he's well on the ball. In the end, right, it goes, not that it's easy getting the 7'9" Bao shaking hands with 2'4" Ping Ping yesterday. He Ping Ping, is that his name? In the end, 19-year-old he... Oh, that's confusing. His name's he, so it's difficult to read that. In the end, 19-year-old he was lifted on the table while Bao, 56, sat down so he could grasp his new friend's hand. Oh, it does look odd. The odd couple, here, were introduced in Batao in China's Inner Mongolia province. They were both born... Where both were born. Oh, obviously they were both born. Anyway, I think that's quite
Did they teach you to read at drama school?
It's a really confusing article because they've got names like Bao and he. It's difficult to know where it's, where it's an impersonal, where it's a personal pronoun and where it's their names and what's going on. It was baffling. And anyway, that bloke, I've seen this great big tall fella stabbing a dolphin or something. Or
he helped a dolphin by pulling stuff out of its stomach.
What an odd way to live life, just pulling things out of a dolphin's stomach. How did he know that it needed it?
Because they couldn't get anything to go long enough, and then someone said, I know this bloke who's got really long arms. And he went and done it. They
could just have easily gone, I know this bloke who's like a tiny little thumb, stick him down in the dolphin in a ski mask. He can solve this issue. So there you are. So, well, all in all, I'm right behind both they're both born in the same place. That's a bit bonkers, isn't it? Both men were born in the same...
Chernobyl.
By a quirky coincidence, both these bonkers guys were born in Huntingdon Life Sciences. What are the chances of that happening? Along with the world's most headed man, who had up to 14 heads. all up and down his back like a stegosaurus. He just, the little fella, Ping Ping, he wants to be in the Guinness Book of Records, and why not? Get him right in there.
So he's got to be measured,
just don't
and then
shut
other
it
people
while
will be
he's in
measured.
there, because he'll be squished. No, I think, you'd have to go around the world making sure that he is absolutely the
But
smallest
he's
one.
hoping to be. So there must be a method of like crouching a little bit to try and win.
Of course there is, or wearing, like, or just standing in a little imperceptible trench, or
They
going...
should hang them by their feet so that they're.
Matthew!
No.
He's got feelings. What then? Get off with him. They should hang him by their feet to see how much they want to be in the Guinness Book of Records. Still want to be in the Guinness Book of Records, do you? Give him a little kick, use him as swing ball. That's out of order. Ping Ping got feelings, you know.
So would that woman say that he's small because he's got issues? You need to speak up at work. It's made you shrink.
Look in the mirror and say, I allow myself to be a great big tall Robert Wadlow, Tom Selleck Magnum style man. Then jump in a Ferrari and solve a crime. You'll have the time of your life. Yeah, yes, there's some things that are clearly biological realities, like Ping Ping's height and Matt's constant disorders with his little ribby wibs. What's this business here? Look at this from someone called Meakin, Alex Meakin. Dear Russell, Matt and G and the rest, I'd like to inform you lot that I just watched a video on YouTube, that's how he spelt it, in which there was a football match created in a computer game, Pro Evolution Soccer 6. Your team was as follows: Stephen Merchant, Anton Deck, Mr T, Phil Mitchell, Ken Kutaragi, Peter Kay, He-Man, Bono, Phil Harrison, Justin Lee Collins, Michael Jackson, the Frosty's Kid, Graham Norton and Russell Brand versus Brazil. Unfortunately, that's good, I want to see that. Unfortunately, due to Russell's defensive role in the game, he didn't feature in the highlights until he was substituted in the 80th minute to make way for Mr T, who went on to score the winning penalty in the shootout. Imagine that. This is sort of a virtual world with me in a football team with Mr T. It's good, isn't it? Matthew? What's the matter with you?
It's only a game, isn't it? They've just given those characters the names.
Yeah, but haven't they designed them to look like it?
I don't think that your haircut is one of the options in the game.
Why?
Because it's insane.
Well, they've just put those names down, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that doesn't... All right, fair enough.
But it's still quite funny, I suppose.
Yeah, but I'd rather that there was an haircut involved. Mike Anderson, hello award-winning Russell, bounty woman Matt, and genius that is Mr G. I, along with thousands of law revolutionary wannabes, voted on the PETA website to turn fact into reality and make Russell the sexiest vegetarian. I recently got sent this email from PETA highlighting the annual running of the Nudes Festival, which takes place in Spain, and thought you might be interested in furthering the cause and showing your appreciation for the lettuce ladies they sent you by basically getting naked and having your general swish through the streets of Pamplona in Spain. I don't think I'd like running around naked in Spain.
No, it's very undignified.
It is for a gentleman to run around naked, of course, because the ghoulies, the male ghoulie is not an attractive looking object, really, is it?
No.
Swishing about. Although I think it's because of that running of the balls, that's probably what they're sort of parodying there and saying that it's probably a bit cruel, and I reckon it probably is. I don't reckon them balls are enjoying it. So listen to this woman, right, everyone. This is Russell Brand on Radio 2. If you've got any emails, send them to russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Remember to send us your questions for Gordon Brown. Also,
That's not a woman, that's you.
I know, I'm a man, right, with feelings. Right, send me emails and send Gordon Brown things going, let Russell Brand interview you, because remember, they have to respond to us, and if there's a great groundswell of opinion, then they'll have to let us do an interview, and then we'll be able to say what we like right at him.
Are you going to do it seriously, though, or are you going to just sort of...
I'm not going to dick around, but I will be a bit like, I'm going to go, come on, mate, back your ideas up, do something nice, close down the National Health Service.
I think that I like the way that he's stopped that super casino things this week.
He stopped the super casinos?
Yeah, he said we don't really need casinos.
Who's going to rescue all the other casinos if their baby catches on fire? Super casino is our only hope. Yeah. Well,
I think you're the man to interview him, actually, with these
insightful...
perceptive...
Yes, my perspicacity with Matt as political is what's required when grilling old brownie points, as I like to call him. Yeah, send us those questions and inquiries to russell.brown@bbc.co.uk. Also, hassle the BBC and hassle Gordon Brown. 88 to 91, that's if you want to do us a text. That T was a 2. 88 to 91. Noel Gallagher's coming up later on the show. Also, remember to vote for me on the National TV Awards, see if we can manipulate it into some kind of glorious victory. Now, this is from Jessica Delfino. My name name is Jessica Delfino. That's how I know it's from her. I'm coming to Edinburgh from New York to do my show, Songs About Vaginas, in the Fringe Festival this summer. I sing quirky, funny, ribald songs, many of which are about vaginas, also other juicy topics. Hello. I'll be in Dublin for the Bud Light Comedy Festival, July 26th to 30th, then on to Edinburgh. I think I'm going to be in Dublin at that time, and so are you, actually. In fact, we're doing the radio show from there. And then I'm going to be in London with the Trachtenberg Family Slideshow Players. I'm writing in the hopes that you'll consider having me as a guest on your show. My show is unique. I thought you'd like it, as it is explicit, not for kids.
Not that unique.
Ain't it? Because why? Because there's them vagina monologues, which is some women talking about vaginas.
That's not songs.
Suppose so, yeah. But then if someone does a dance about a vagina, I mean, where's it going to go? Someone, doing, I don't know, some sort of a sculpture of a vagina with beans on it.
I'd go and watch it if she sang with her vagina.
If she can sing out of her vagina, I'm there. Even if she can just play a triangle with it, I think that would be an impressive feat. But singing a song about a vagina is, by and large, that's the same as singing a song about anything, isn't it, really? Sing a song about Pol Pot, sing a song about a kettle, it's just a song. But perhaps they're good. So it's up to you lot, listeners of the show and podcast, if you want us to have Jessica and I believe what we're calling it now is Jessica and her singing vagina. If you want her on our show, this is your show.
You should interview Gordon Brown through her.
Hello. Hello, Gordon Brown, about these casinos. Sorry, I couldn't hear that. It was a little muffled. Come on. 4 more years. 4 more years. So, it's up to you. We'll get her on if you like. She's going to be over in the country. She's called Jessica Delfino. Check her out on MySpace if you want her on our show. Tell us. If you don't want her on, we won't get her on. It's up to you. You're in charge. We're responding to people power, creating the ultimate democracy, except it's a bit different because it's a dictatorship. But remember to vote for me on them TV awards. Now then, what have we got here? Stuff. This is from Nick, claiming to be from Watford. Did you know that honey is the only food that doesn't spoil? Honey found in the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs has been tasted by archaeologists and found edible. What perverts? They're down there in a tomb, dipping their fingers in everything they find. I wonder what this bandage tastes of. I wonder if I'm allowed to cuddle this Egyptian king. Them archaeologists are unprofessional from the sounds of things.
Really? So I suppose it's just pure sugar.
It's just pure sugar, so nothing can go wrong with it. Honey is the only food that will not spoil, and because it's made by those excellent little guys, the bees. God bless them for that, toiling to make us a delicious load of honey. But what is it, though? Do they secrete it out of something?
No, they build their homes out of the sugar that they make from, I don't know.
Right, find out something about bees, because we're coming across like a right bunch of mugs now.
Honeycomb, that is like the little cells of their home.
So who's making crunchies then? If the bees are making honey, who's making the honeycomb bar crunchy? Is this some sort of super bee? Should we be frightened of these bees if they come over here taking all a job? On the other hand, and he goes, maybe we can use honey as a key part of the revolution as it lasts forever by making a huge statue of you made of honey so your adoring fans, bikini-clad ones, can lick you forever. On the other hand, maybe it would just make a huge mess and wouldn't help in any way. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Well, there's only ever been one fish, young Nick, and I'm afraid it died and is now a keyring somewhere, I believe. So, look, information. Now, on the live earth, through the blur of my headache, I was talking about, look at this, how do bees make honey? Look at that, look, someone's just given me this information. This is young Nick, who works on the show. Handsome Nick, he's earned the nickname of. Honeybees use nectar to make honey. Nectar is 80% water with some complex sugars. In fact, if you've ever pulled a honeysuckle blossom out of its stem, why would you do that? Nectar is the clear liquid that drops from the end of the blossom. In North America, bees get nectar from flowers. Like, look, how are they making it? I want to know what goes on.
They get the nectar, and then which is made of complex sugars, and then they turn that into honey.
They use their long tube-like tongues, like straws, to suck the nectar out of the flowers. That's why they say the birds and the bees then, isn't it? That's why, because it sounds disgusting. They use their tube-like tongues to suck out the nectar, then store it in their honey stomachs. That's not the proper name.
That's what Winnie the Pooh had.
Yeah, he had a little tubby honey stomach. I've got a honey tummy. Bees actually have 2 stomachs. Their honey stomach, which they use like a nectar backpack, and a regular stomach for which they do blow-offs. The honey stomach holds 70 milligrams of nectar when full. It weighs as much as the bee itself. Well, that's mental, because what does the rest of the bee weigh? Honeybees must visit between 100 and 1,500 flowers in order order to fill their honey stomachs. This is my honey stomach. Hey, you kicked me in the stomach. Get off my honey stomach. You kicked me in the honey stomach, then you pinched my leg. What's going to be next? The honeybees return to the hive and pass the nectar on to the worker bees. Here you go, guys. Take that from the honey stomach. These bees suck the nectar from the honeybee's stomach through their mouths. Oh, guys. These house bees chew the nectar for about half an hour. During this time, enzymes are breaking the complex sugar in the nectar into simple sugar, so it's both more digestible for the bees and less likely to be attacked by bacteria whilst it's stored within the hive. Bees then spread the nectar through the honeycombs where water evaporates from it, making it into a thick, juicy, honey-like syrup. The bees make the nectar dry even faster by fanning it with their wings. Once the honey's good enough, the bee seals off the cell with a plug of wax. The honey's stored until it's eaten.
Beeswax.
Beeswax! Mind your own beeswax, copper! Oh, well, so there you go. That's how it's made. We now know that. We've just got a little bit cleverer, unless you already knew that, in which case you've had your time wasted by goons. Hi, Russell, Matt and G, you three sexy devils, says Cheeky Vixen. Russell, you are mistaken about eating at night. Contrary to popular belief, your body does not care about or recognise the time of day that you eat. It's more a question of how many total calories you consume throughout the day.
Thank you.
No, because that's not true. How come all Premiership football clubs then stop their players eating at 6 p.m? They know what they're doing, those bonkers
But
guys.
that's not to put on weight. That's probably just because they don't want them to, I don't know, be sluggish in the morning.
You'll have a nightmare. Look at you, you're vulnerable. Don't eat any cheese before bedtime. Red Sky at night, Shepherd's Delight. It must be a fact. You'll store it all into fat if you're just lying there doing nothing. This woman's bonkers.
No,
she's called
like
Cheeky Vixen. What's she know about science? Cheeky Vixen. And now we go over live on Science Discovery Channel to Cheeky Vixen for her theories about digestion. Hi, I'm a Cheeky Vixen. If you look inside my honey stomach, you'll find it's all filled up with mush.
I want to do a programme about tunnels, secret tunnels.
Do you?
On Discovery Channel, yeah.
Where are you going to start? Where are there any secret tunnels that you even know about?
Loads in London.
Are there?
Ex-nuclear bunkers.
Why are you into secret tunnels so much?
Secret tube station. Well, not secret tube stations. Closed down.
Secret. Yeah, there's a tube
stations
down there. Go past Aldgate. There's this new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to go down? You want to do a programme? Let's try and get it commissioned.
Yeah.
What? Are you going to front it?
I'll front it.
Matt Morgan's secret tunnels.
Well, that sounds a bit odd.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds like you bending over, crouched, looking up your own bottom for an answer to your endless health problems. Okay, well, Matt Morgan's secret tunnels, we'll get that commissioned. Let's try. Right, ring up. If you're right, these are the things you've got to do. Bother Gordon Brown. Bother the BBC about the interview. Vote for me to win National TV Awards Best Entertainer. Bother the CEO of Discovery Channel. Just like, first of all, let's have this as a tiered campaign. First wave of it, just go, why are there no programmes about tunnels? Right?
Featuring Matt Morgan as a presenter in a long coat.
In a long coat, wearing like them light things that doctors have on their heads.
Because
in the
then
middle
I'll
of
get
their
access to all the secret tunnels.
You can just go down there. I'm sure we can organise it if you want to go down a secret tunnel. What's this about? Are you not having it off much lately? Why have you suddenly got this curiosity about getting yourself down some clammy little hole?
I was reading a book called Underground London.
Yeah.
Right? And I've always had an interest in tunnels. I don't know if I've ever shared it with you.
You're always on about it, potholing.
Do you remember when we went to Dover Castle?
Dover Castle? Was I on drugs?
I think you... No, you weren't.
Well, how come I don't remember a single bit of it?
We went underground in the tunnels and we hid in a thing, and then we hid in a chalk tunnel, and then all these people came and you went, there's a dog loose in the woods.
Yeah, that was brilliant of me to have done that.
Were you on drugs?
No, I wasn't actually. Remember now, that's just my personality. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Dover Castle's brilliant.
It was scary, actually. There's a dog loose in the woods.
You were doing it. Why were you scared of it?
I don't know. I just thought that I might have meant it. I couldn't tell anymore where the line of reality was. Yeah, all right, we'll do this programme about tunnels. Hold on, though. What if I present it? Whee!
No.
Russell Brand's Tunnel Madness. We're deep, deep under the ground. Russell Brand's Tunnel Madness. What's that sexy sound? It's probably a Russell or a scary dog. Maybe it's a wasp's stomach or a frog. It's Russell Brand's secret tunnel world. Now on the piano. Russell Brand's secret tunnel. Woo! No, let's let Matt do this programme. It's going to be good for his career. So, bother the CEO of Discovery saying, why are there no...
Why are you saying CEO?
Because that's what you say. You say that.
It's an American company.
Are they? I don't know. I just couldn't think what else to say.
Head.
Ring up Captain Discovery, Sergeant of the Discovery Network.
It doesn't have to be on Discovery. I'm thinking BBC One.
BBC One, straight after EastEnders, and here is that theme tune. La la la, anyone can fall in love. I'm a neater dog. Dobson. So, do you remember when they did that version of Anyone Can Fall in Love?
Yeah.
They put lyrics to EastEnders and it went like this: Anyone can fall in love, but that's not
the easy way of having a baby or something.
Yeah, it's something like that, but it wasn't. That's not what EastEnders is about. So it became sort of abstract. They might as well have said, I have got a nice new car. I took it down the arches and Phil tried to mend it. Then he had a row with Grant. Remember Danielle Westbrook? What happened to her inner nose? Nose. They should have made it more relevant.
Her inner nose?
Yeah, the septum.
Septum.
It went away. It was a tunnel. Perhaps you should go and investigate it, Matt. Perhaps you should rock it right up her snout. See what's going on. Hello, I'm Matt Morgan. Oh, I've got a cough. Oh, I better sit down. Right, what's up Daniela Westbrook's nose this week? There's that bread wheat free. There's a bogey. It's probably dairy. That concludes another episode of Matt Morgan up Daniela Westbrook's snout.
Have you taken more microleave?
I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the microleave. I smoked it off some foil. No, I didn't. I've not taken no microleave. Drugs are bad. So, right, yeah, they're coming in. Bother people at Discovery. Let's get Matt Morgan's tunnel programme underway. Let's get me winning that national TV thing. Let's get me interviewing Gordon Brown. Russell.Brown, bbc.co.uk. But remember to bother the government. They're our government. We pay their wages. I've never even voted for them. I still have to give them half my bloody money. I need more money for diamond-encrusted skulls. I've let a load of people into this room now. Matt, can you see them on the webcam?
Yes, I can. There's lots of people there.
Why are you all distracted? What were you doing for that split second?
I was just looking at...
What? What are you doing?
My phone. My phone went off in my pocket.
What do you mean? Don't look at your phone when you're on the radio. What an idiot.
I wasn't on the radio.
You are
were
on
talking.
the radio. This is radio. Well, I don't know what you think this is if it ain't radio. This is from Orla. Dear Russell, I'm emailing you because I've heard on the grapevine that this show's pre-recorded. Thought you should know that last week's show was fantastic and my bedroom caught fire. I didn't notice for a while because I was too engaged in your show, and it was literally only when you said goodbye that I realised that my room was full of smoke. Luckily I wasn't hurt and only some of my clothes were ruined. It is, however, an indication that I can't be trusted to listen to your show alone. For this reason, I think I should come to the studio next week so you can keep an eye out for fires. That's love from Orla. Orla, ironically, while watching Live Earth, caused a lot of ecological damage. Pollution, carbon footprint, great big bloody one, bloody nuisance. Right, so use like make noise so people know the studio's got people in it. Go, hooray! There you are. Listen to the enthusiasm of these poor jaded individuals slum around the studio that had to be in here for half hour before the show while we tried to prepare things and me and Matt bickered like twerps. This is an email from John from Romford. Dear Matt G, Mickey, who doesn't even work here, and Russell, did you know a pig orgasm lasts for over 30 minutes? How would we know that?
Because it was on telly when Rebecca Lewis did it to a pig.
There's climaxing for 30 minutes. Perhaps that's just because she's particularly good at giving orgasms. Perhaps when you have one with Rebecca Lewis, anyone does one for 30 minutes. I mean, I think she's got something alluring about her. Particularly...
Oh, you're joking.
Well, particularly since she's done that thing with a pig. I thought, if she's going to do that to a pig, what's she going to do after a couple of jars of cider? Take her back to my place. You know, that's the sort of thing that's
How do they
through my
know
mind.
so the pigs are sort of like all tense and twitching for half an hour?
Yeah, well, I think it's after 31 minutes it lights a cigarette and starts crying. So I think that's the only way they know. Yeah, how would you know how long a pig's orgasm is? It's ridiculous. And what would be the biological... There'd be no reason for it to last 30 minutes. There'd be no imperative. There'd be no evolutionary benefit for it having a 30-minute orgasm. It would mean it was exposed to predators, like a great big Tyrannosaurus Rex could guzzle it up or something.
Well, at slaughterhouses they should... bring them to climax and let them have half an hour, their last half an hour on Earth. Nice.
Yeah, that's true, because you wouldn't even notice. If at the point of orgasm, like someone came into me and goes, I'm afraid we're going to have to shoot you now, I'd just go, oh, you cheeky devil. So it's probably a good way of executing people. Bring them to the point of orgasm, then let that bullet fly. Perhaps we should have done that to dear old Saddam Hussein. Just cupped him all nice and go, right, Saddam, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is there's a little trouser party going on, but the bad news is, what you done them Kurds was out of order. Whoosh! And away he goes with his little elephant man hat on his head, off to another world. I thought, it was, listen, you know my views.
Yes, we do know
He was
your
out of
views.
order to kill him. He looked like a Father Christmas sacked from Debenhams under disgrace, probably for stealing bras. Well, I just thought, you know, if you're going to just execute leaders, why not all of them? Right, so that's some lovely bit of information for you. Noel Gallagher coming up later in the show, of course. He informs me that he'll either be at or on his way to a children's party.
Always going to
Always going to children's parties. He builds his life around it. I wouldn't mind, but he hasn't even got any children. He's trying to pass himself off as a clown, turning up anywhere they'll have him with his little bit of balloon magic. It's disgusting to watch. This is from Victoria and Raoul. Hi, Russell and Matt, and you will have noticed I said Raoul like that. Just wanted to let you know that the revolution has finally reached Spain. I've been trying to spread the word out here for ages, but with little success till my friend Lissa took me and my boyfriend Raoul to see you in Camden the other day. He spoke to you outside afterwards and was very impressed that you could speak Spanish, even if it is only for, and I quote, talking to girls. Yeah. Tú eres muy bonita, mi amor. Un pequito, por favor. Por favor, un besito. Oh, sí. Más dentro. Oh, mi culo, mi curo, mi curo. That is the kind of Spanish that you
What
need.
does that mean? Get off me, please, you dirty English man.
How dare you? I'll call the ambassador. You said you knew the way to King's Cross Station. Open this taxi door. Open this taxi door. Swarm. Code red. They're all sexy words. Now you've converted him into a Spanish revolutionary. He hasn't shut up about meeting you since, even though he said he didn't really understand anything you said. That's probably the best way to appreciate me is, first of all, grow up speaking another language, then don't learn English, then come and see me, and you'll think I'm just marvellous, really. Then he said, blah, 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 I can't wait to see you on TV when we move back to the UK later on in the year. Viva la revolucion. Bye-bye, love-oo, bye. Victoria and Raoul. Thanks, Victoria and Raoul, for your revolutionary support there. That's when me and Matt were doing our new TV show, which will be on Channel 4 in October. It's called Russell Brand's Ponderland. Watch out for it. It's bloody good. Good, wasn't it, Matt?
News.
Right, now, it comes a time in everybody's life when you need to know what's going on. What is going on in the bloody old world? News! Tony Tribe, Red 1, Radio 2. That track was dedicated to Rita. That's Mr. G's mum. Hello there, Rita. All right there, love. Does she listen to the show always, G?
Yeah.
Good. Well, here, that's dedicated to you from your lad and from all of us here. How is she? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's good.
Good! Well, get better anyway. Get better. Even if you're already good, why not get better? That was the news just before. We didn't hear any of that. I hope everything's okay in the world, because we're doing this a bit earlier on in the day. So, let's do that thing. Oh, right, guess what? We've got Baz Bazalget's phone number. He's in charge at Endemol and stuff like that. He's got a lot of power in telly. They make a lot of lifestyle documentaries, a lot of documentary science type programmes. Perhaps they might be interested in a little bit of the old Tunnel Vision. Matt Morgan's Tunnel Visions.
That's a good name.
What about that, yeah?
It's got to have a good hard sell in the title, though. The word secret.
Secret tunnel. It just sounds like you're snoofling around up someone's back passage. If
Only
it's got
to you, because you're a sexual pervert.
I ain't a sexual pervert. I'm just a man living my life. We're going to go for it. Get Baz Bazalget up on the blower now. If he ain't there, I'll simply leave him a message and I'll
pitch it to him.
I'll pitch it, baby. I'll pitch it because I wanted to. Right.
Is not available.
Right, he's not available. That's his
Please
answer
leave your
machine.
message after the tone.
Right, I'll pitch this all
If
nice.
you want to re-record your message, press 1
Press
at
one
any
at any
time.
time. We could press one at any time. Baz Bazalget. Hello, this is Russell Brand, your former employee on Big Brother's Big Mouth. All right, mate. All right. Are you all right? Remember that time I come round your house and you showed me all them pictures up in the corridor of the Bazaljets through the ages, one of whom was an engineer, designed bridges and stuff? See, told you I was listening. Now, I've got a brilliant show. I know you might have thought I was drifting off trying to think how I could nick cutlery. Well, I weren't. I was looking and listening to things that was going on. You were wearing trousers like Rupert Bear wears that day. Now, I've got a brilliant idea for a new show. It's all about the secret world of sexy little tunnels that go on under the ground all over the world, but mostly in England. Do you know, Baz, you probably do, you're a well-educated man, that there are literally tunnels underneath all of us right now. Worm tunnels, railway tunnels, potholes. Now, if you listen to this radio show, Radio 2, or our podcast, you'll be aware of the unearthed gem that is Matt Morgan. He would front this show. It'll be Matt Morgan's Tunnel Visions, where Matt Morgan goes down in tunnels, tells us all about secret tunnels, what goes on. Now, it don't have to be a prime-time terrestrial show. It could work on digital. Matt would not need much of a presenter's fee. However, the director, a certain Russell Brand, don't come cheap. But boy, that guy brings a lot to the show. I'm talking about angles. I'm talking about wrangles. I'm talking about shingles. I'm talking about jingles. Bazalgette, this is probably the best show you'll ever get offered. All about networks of tunnels, presented by Matt Morgan in his debut. This is his launch show, remember? Now, I've been watching that boy's career for a while. We've been working together for a long, long time, and I think he could very easily be the next Handy Andy. He's got a natural charm on camera. He's got a lot of charisma and a lot of chutzpah. Baz, don't turn this opportunity down, because this is better than when a certain John de Mol in Holland thought locking people up in a house might one day provide sexy entertainment for the world. Matt Morgan one day will franchise this show everywhere, Baz. There'll be tunnels in Amsterdam. There'll be tunnels in Chile. There'll be tunnels under the sea. Eventually, you won't be able to sit on the toilet without Matt Morgan's head popping up going, ooh, another secret. Now, Baz, you could be in on the ground floor. Don't let us down, Baz. Love you, bye. Call us back, Baz. Love you, bye. Should we press 1? Should we press...
No, that was a really good, pitch. Mature pitch.
Pretty good, wasn't it? If they don't commission that, I don't know what they'll do.
I think he's going to phone your agent and go, I'm worried about Russell.
I think
has he relapsed?
We knew he took not doing Big Mouth pretty hard, but I think he's really fallen lower than I've ever heard him. I understand he's taken to sleeping in a dog's bed. Now, if that doesn't get that show commissioned, well, we'll see what Bazalgette says next week. And there's probably other places, even if Baz, who produces loads of big shows, if he ain't behind it, we've got other places
Isn't his name Peter Bazalgette?
Yeah, but everyone calls him... Sorry, you said Get. You said Bazalgette, Mr. Hello, goodbye. So, actually, what...
Well, you said...
Yeah, so what? I'm allowed to say that when I do a burp. Yeah, but he called himself Bazalgette. I don't know why, it's just part of his nature.
Baz.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll think about getting left that message. He's actually quite powerful, but, what can he do to us? We've got our own production company, we're fine. You have put the phone down, haven't you? Oh, thank God. Yeah, because he won't listen to this. He's too busy up in his ivory tower. Here's a nice letter from Danny in Mansfield. I've emailed you the past few weeks. Oh, we told you. I've read to you. You daft cow. How many emails from her are there? Here, this is from Jonathan. Dear Russell, as a local councillor for your fair borough of Camden, that's North London where I live, I thought I would send you the review of Live Earth I've put together for our local paper, the Camden.
Camden? You live in Hampstead?
That is still the borough of Camden.
No, it's not.
It is. It is. It's the same. Yeah, I think it's the same borough.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. It's just a nicer, posher,
exactly.
more elitist, bourgeois part of Camden. Yeah, but I don't know. Come on, I've lived in some
Yeah, man.
Oh, I used to live above a pub with David Bowie, selling crack to kids. No, we didn't. Nor did David Bowie. I'm sorry, I take it all back. As a devoted fan, I thought you'd like to know that I've done my bit to ensure that I help you in your quest for global domination by saying you were by far the best thing about that day. Thank you. Thanks for making the Pussycat Dolls almost bearable. Don't you? Is that something they say? Don't you? I'll bet your girlfriend was nice like me, don't you? Don't you? I bet you wish your girlfriend was nice like me, don't you? Yes, I really do. Yeah, that's from Jonathan, Labour Councillor for King's Cross Ward, London Borough of Camden. Nice, excellent. Oh, look, and he sent me the actual copy. Look, he sent me the thing that he sent to the paper. Hi, Charlotte, here you go. About 315 words in total, so almost on target. Let me know if you need anything else. Best wishes, Jonathan. Right, then he reviews it. Can the pop concert really give the world a much needed wake-up call on global warming, blah blah blah? Al Gore, hot air. Was it a lot of hot air? Nice one, very good picture. Oh, come on, Matt, give him a chance, he's a councillor. Any major benefit concerts, diverse range of acts, blah blah blah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pussycat Dolls, blah blah blah, American political fundraiser, Hollywood actors, impassioned speeches. Most struggle to read the auto cue and sound natural at the same time, with only Camden local Russell Brand succeeding in being an entertaining and worthy compare. Not my words, listeners, but the words of Jonathan, a councillor from a North London borough. Yeah, so that's the conclusive. That I think history ultimately will look to Jonathan, what's his surname? We don't even say his bloody surname. Jonathan Simpson. I think, yeah, when in future generations look back on Live Earth, they say, well, what was that day really all about? Let's read what Jonathan Simpson wrote in the Camden Journal. Russell Brand was ever so good. Blah, blah, blah. Foo Fighters, Madonna, Al Gore, da-da-da. Madonna closed with her own Weimar Republic army of dancers and images, blah, blah, blah. So, I liked it. It was good, though, wasn't it, that Live Earth?
Yeah, there's a story here in the Daily Star.
Yeah.
So his Pussycat Dolls were treated to a personal playback of James Blunt's new songs, blah, blah, blah. The Dolls, fronted by a sexy Nicole Scherzinger, right, were the... that's not me, it says right, but she was in a photo to the right. Were the focus of many a male eye. Right. Comedian Russell Brand, right. 32, tried to pull Jessica Sutter... Inset below. Hang on, it's a lot of photographs.
A lot of photos.
I know.
What is this, a comic book?
But his
Where'd you get your
jokes-
information? The Beano?
Listen to this. His jokes were no match for the 33-year-old captain, James Blunt. Russell was getting somewhere with Jessica when James whisked them away.
That never happened. I never even saw him, except one of them waved at me in a corridor and I had too much of an headache to seduce him. Right, that's it, Blunt. If it's a war you want, it's a war you've got. And since you're a trained soldier and I'm a pansy, I think it's only one outcome for that battle. I like James Blunt because the driver that drove me home afterwards said that he'd just driven James Blunt home on his own, he actually added. And he goes that James Blunt goes, oh, Russell Brand's on Radio 2 now, put it on.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, well, that means he would have heard us going,
Well, what were we saying?
You said, and I tried to leave the room because I was so embarrassed, that James Blunt goes when he tries to talk. You said that's his voice.
James Blunt's voice is a trumpet.
That's how he used to give orders to his men. That's why he was kicked out.
Okay, guys.
Just pointing to a hill in the distance. Going,
I don't know what he means, but it's very touching, and it should be a number one. Yeah. No, we like old Blunty Poos. He's
well,
excellent.
you shouldn't have said that about his voice.
Oh, it's only his talking voice. He's sweet. I'd like to give him a great big cuddle on his little horny voice, on his little honking goose throat. I think he's nice. Yeah, so perhaps I should marry a pussycat doll. I mean, they're all quite nice, aren't they? Let's marry one up. Perhaps I should settle down and start a new life. Yeah, with James Blunt. Like me. God, James, you've been doing that for half an hour. What are you, a man or a pig? Lovely old fella. Right then, okay, we've got lots of important things to do. Ringing up Noel Gallagher later. We'll be pursuing Matt's tunnel idea. Remember to vote for me to be Best Entertainer National TV Awards. You can vote more than once, I'm sure. Just keep voting till it inevitably happens. And then the people who run that will go, oh no, it's on ITV. Russell Brand's won it, it's live. Oh, it's going to be really difficult. He doesn't deserve to win it. It's been manipulated. Let's just give it to Ant and Dec anyway. Come on, for God's sake, they should have won. That sort of thing might happen. This is from Alex in Australia. Dear Russell, hope you're enjoying being back from Hawaii. I've been stranded in a beautiful prison myself. I'm in Australia. Cue Matt Morgan. I came out with the intention of being here a couple of years for a very particular reason, having failed miserably at that purpose within a month. It was a treacherous girl, it were. Cue Matt Morgan. I now just want to come home. I'm surrounded by backpackers. They're like students, but with less imagination. I miss London. I miss the odours, the attitudes. I miss the strangers. Couple with this, I'm missing British culture, especially comedians, which Australia doesn't seem to have. I've got a sad habit of amalgamating the personalities of my favourite comedians. Since I've been in Australia, I've been cut off from your podcast, so I've downloaded loads that I've been listening to. With no other comical impetus, I'm slowly becoming a podgy, worse-looking version of you, and a fameless version at that, wandering around Australia in a faux .cotton accent, pining for Marmite and demanding girls give me a cuddle. Unfortunately, people just seem bemused and scared. Take heed, Russell. Do not be too quick to abandon those who already love you again. Oh well, I might come back to London soon, so people can tell me to stop ripping you off and pull my finger out. Ooh, that sounds like a really filthy set. He ripped me off and then pulled his finger out. Half hour later, I was still in ecstasy. So send me messages of support or on this thing, and he gives an Australian number. Well, Matt, you know better than anyone what it's like to be stranded in Australia. Remember when you fell off that boat and turned into an international incident? Remember?
Yes, I do remember it.
Yep.
Very painful memory.
I remember when he went on about every time he mentioned Australia. The fruit's nice in there. A mango really tastes like a delicious Coca-Cola version of a mango. That's what he'll say, Jeff. You mentioned Australia.
It's true. The food in general is much better over there. The quality of life's better.
Don't be disloyal. He put his arm round our Queen. How dare you put your arm round our Queen? That bloody Australian Prime Minister.
You'd like it there.
Would I?
Yeah.
Why? What's there?
You scratching around the dirty streets of London.
I like it there, the cobblestone streets. Me, old Jack Scratch, Victorian gent, wearing my cloak, my cobblestone streets, my cane. I liked it. That's how I'm happiest. A black cat wanders by. I do a little blow off in its general direction, lift up my eye patch and wink.
Through your front door, and you're in your glitter palace.
Welcome to the glitter palace. It's Gay Willy Wonka's boudoir.
It's like a Christmas time toy from MB Games. Girls, you can design your favourite palace. Imagine it. You could put jewels on everything, even the toilets.
It's my bejeweled folly.
Too much money and power.
The more delicious power and money. Yeah, hold on. The revolution is looking in good shape. I'm getting very bored of these bejeweled
This revolution is so stupid.
Why?
Such an abstract idea.
Of course it is at this stage.
Policies.
We've got policies, but they're quite hardcore, so I'm trying to keep them on the back burner to a later stage.
This is your stupid population control stuff.
Yes, it is my population control stuff. What of it? It's one of my best policies. It's not enforced anyway. It's just we just suggest after you've had one child, don't have any more. Abandon the idea of family. We're all one family now. Reduce the population of Earth by 50%, and that would eradicate poverty. Live in a leisure society. We'll elevate technology to look after us. We won't have a currency no more. No more religion. Just lots of lovely, sexy cuddles all over the world.
Do you know how long it would take to reduce the population of the world by 50%?
50 years if each couple only had one child, as we all die off all nice.
No, it would take a lot longer than that.
No, it's 50 years. I've done studies, mate, on newts when I was a kid. I had a lot of newts. Off came the little willies with the nail clippers.
Oh, you didn't
Soon
just suggest they don't bring... Hey, newts, right? Newts are a loving couple of newts, but I'm going to ask you something here.
I'm going to ask you in the only language you truly understand, and that's the international language of nail clippers on your genitals.
Oh, no.
No, I never nail clippered them on the genitals. Those newts knew what they were getting in for.
I don't know what Petter are thinking giving you that.
I'm like a Dr. Mengele sort of character. No, I'm not. Hey, I'm a good vegetarian. I support vegetarianism. I do my level best to live an ethical lifestyle in my bejeweled palace of opulence.
The goat skull that you probably had removed from the goat. I need it to be warm.
I like that goat. He's very chipper. Have him on the wall by Monday morning. But bejewel him, mind, if he's not bejewelled. No, that goat's been dead for over 100,000 years because he was a particular type of goat they don't have these days. It's the only type of goat that would do on marble.
Is that what the interior designer told you?
That's right, yes. The interior designer, I've got it, like, the first interior designer made a right balls up of it all. Second one, like, I've been having a bit of a romance with. It's going very well. It's nice.
She the lady who bought that 9-foot candlestick when I was there.
Yes, that was for Gulliver. My big giant candlestick. Yeah, it's nice.
Do you like my new candlestick? Yes, it's very nice. It's some solid silver or something ridiculous. I mean, obviously we're going to put jewels on it and hang a mouse's paw off it, just a skeletal one. A few of those.
Listen, right. I'll only, honestly, I'm going to go back to living a very nice, impoverished lifestyle after a year. It is bad to have all this stuff. But remember...
What about the other day? I was around his house and he goes, we were in the office, which is on the top floor, and he goes, Matt, this is the brain of the house.
So what? You said the front door was its willy.
No, I said the front door was its mouth and the cat flap was its bum.
We couldn't work out what its willy was. It was the bedroom. We spent an hour of that when we were supposed to be writing the script for Live Earth.
No, we said the bath was its willy.
Oh, yeah, the bath was its willy because it makes all those bubbles out of it. Yeah, that's right, yeah. But instead of writing the script for Live Earth, we tried to make the house a body.
I was humouring you.
You was meant to be writing the script with me.
I know, but I was just...
pretending the house was a person.
You started it going, this is his brain. I was going, yeah, imagine that. You go over there and draw a picture for the interior designer. I want upstairs to be a brain.
Right, now the basement's in shoes, so it's got to have rubber flooring, and it's got to have laces as well. Make them out of a goat's brain. So, all right, let's have a listen to a little old record. What have you guys got going on down there?
Keep on running. Well,
What? Keep on running.
That's it.
And yeah, all right.
Or do you want me to play the piano? Because there's a piano in this studio as well.
Actually, I'm really brilliant at playing piano. I now realise. Yep, here I am playing the piano.
Here he is. That's Russell. There he goes.
Oh, I live in a lovely house. It's like a human body. Yeah, the upstairs is its brain and the willy's in the bath. Its mouth is the front door, and when I open it, it laughs. Oh yeah, I'm in the London street paying council tax. All right, that's enough piano for today. Oh God.
Well, you only have to lift up your hands to stop it.
Yep. That's what I did. Oh, there I go again. Oh, this rare gift. Oh, I'm off. Oh, this talent is going to kill me one of these days. I swear it is. I'm like that bloke out of Shine. Shine fella, you know him. Tortured him, his genius did. Right, and now for my version of Rachmaninoff's Flight of the Bumblebee. Oh, Flight of the Bumblebee. Here I bloody go. Making lots of honey in my honey guts with my tongue. Oh, no. Right, it's enough about right hands. Stop hands, damn you hands.
Just stop playing whenever you want, Russ.
Yeah. It's these jangling hands of mine. I can't. Yeah. Oh, Christ, another hit there. Right, now let's put that as a double A side with When I'm 64 and get it out. This is from Simon in Glasgow. Yeah, my cousin's had a baby. Well done, Guy, for having a baby. He's off in America somewhere.
A man.
I know, that's the real highlight of it. But it's either a baby or a whoopsie. I can't remember, but either way, he's very proud of it. Simon in Glasgow says, no, it's definitely a baby. I just want to say it is, and well done, in case they think that was an insult, because I've seen a photograph. They might think, well, how could he have made that mistake? No, it's definitely, I've seen a picture. It's a lovely little fella, or girl, but it's a baby nonetheless.
They really must know what sex it is now.
No, they didn't say. They just went, well done, there's this baby's happening now. Congratulations. I've not seen Guy for a bit. I should go America and see him, really. He wanted me to sort out Morrissey tickets, but then, I don't know, there's a lot of pressure in it. Now, well done on that baby. That's the main message. Now then, so remember last week we were talking about how Yorkie bars, other chocolates are available, are aimed at men and everything. Well, yes, don't feel scared. I'm not doing anything unusual. This is a letter from someone called Simon in Glasgow. He said he heard that, and like last week, and it struck a chord with him, because a few years ago he was at university, he was looking to earn some extra money. His mate Fat Dave found you could get money for taking part in focus groups, right? Then they got part of this focus group where they had to ask, where they asked about what they thought about the Rat Pack. That's weird. Why would you be asked about that? The Rat Pack's already been sold. Then they went to some old lady's house where they held these focus groups, and they sent us through to their sitting room where there was a group of 18 and 21-year-old lads and a lady in a power suit. Then we found out that lady was from Yorkie. First off, we were asked to show pictures of what it was to be a man. Oh, that's why they had those pictures of the Rat Pack. In many ways, it was a profound question which necessitates careful consideration. However, what happened was just a bunch of lads showing pictures of footballers, drunk people, drunk footballers. I remember an articulate student bloke broke the pattern of monotonous cliche by showing a picture from the film Seven Samurai in which a man makes a stand against his enemies, knowing that only death awaits him. That's what the revolution's about. Oh no, only death awaits us. Oh Christ, I knew it. I knew I wouldn't be able to live in my bejewelled palace forever. Soon I'll have to make a noble stand. Not yet though. Everyone nodded profoundly after he'd finished speaking and began to regret their shallow choice of pictures. Then Fat Dave, who's this bloke's mate, showed his picture of a car and things went back to normal. I like this.
What, a car is what it's like what it is to be a man?
What is it to be a man? It's like being a car. Well done, Fat Dave. Just eat your Yorkie and shut up. The second part of the focus group was a tasting session where we were given samples of the new, more blokey Yorkie bars. The only difference in the bars was the size. What's the point in tasting them then? You might as well show a photograph of it.
What else would they add? Oxo cube to it or something?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Bovril.
Yeah. To make it more blokey, we've covered it in pubes and a picture of a willy. Oh dear, no one's going to eat that. The difference in the bars was only the size. They ranged from medium to gigantic. Some were so big you couldn't physically fit them in your mouth. Apparently this made it more manly. It just gave me lockjaw. Whenever I see Yorkie bars, he's nice, isn't he, Simon in Glasgow? Whenever I see Yorkie bars, I always think of those two old ladies and consider that we should never buy into advertising as a legitimate comment on society or gender, because at the heart of it is probably just a bunch of students getting paid 20 quid to put oversized chocolate bars in their mouths. Don't believe the hype. Viva la revolution.
I think those old ladies were witches. They were fattening up these kids.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea,
In a
Matthew.
house made of chocolate.
In a big chocolate house like Hansel and Gretel. Oh, what do you think it is to be a man? Oh, Eye of Newt. Yeah, then they're all just locked up in there forever and involved in witchy torture things.
What picture would you hold up to show what it is to be a man?
I would hold up a picture of Morrissey in one hand and a picture of Frank McAvenny in the other hand, and then as you look lower, you'd notice I didn't have any trousers or pants on, and say mainly manhood's about this little guy. Then I'd lollop it upward and then it'd lollop down again. Lollop, lop, like that. And then they'd go, right, oh, get out of here, you're not touching our Yorkies. But then I'd make a mad the grab for the Yorkies and just rub them all round my naked self, sprint off out the door, and someone with a butterfly net would get me. What would be your way of putting across manhood?
Maybe Liam Neeson.
Because people say you look like Liam Neeson.
No.
You're such a little predictable little
But
square.
Liam Neeson in one of the Star Wars films, when he's all like wise and then dies.
I've noticed you've started doing your hair like Liam Neeson in the Star Wars films, tying a bit back at the top. Is this because you think that's what it is to be a man,
Next,
to be
you're
Liam
going to have a
Neeson?
go at my Jedi robes.
Yes. Why have you started to wear beige robes and started nodding sagely about things and going, the Force is strong in this one, things like that? Your tunnel vision show is going to be a sham, just a man in a cape wandering through tunnels, complaining that the tunnels will give him bronchitis and that he's got a headache because it's too dark.
No, that tunnel show's a serious thing. I don't want you getting on board and dragging it down with your constant references to your penis.
I've
got a tunnel. I'm going to pull my trousers and pants down. That's what yours would be.
My tunnel show. Right, all right, let's both do a tunnel show and see whose tunnel show's better.
Mine will be informative. Mine will be like Time Team, but sexier.
Time Team, Baldrick digging around in a garden. Who needs that? I find him depressing enough when he ain't got a shovel, let alone when he's starting digging up a skull or something, which should have jewels on it in my book. You scuttling around in tunnels, whereas my one, it'll be Russell Brand's bejewelled underground labyrinth of glory. It'll be beautiful down there. It'll be me and some nymphs all just scuttling about going, whoa, it's a new tunnel, it's a new tunnel, then getting off of each other.
Unbroadcastable rubbish.
It is not. That is maybe what the magazine Witch TV programme would have said, unbroadcastable rubbish. But a lot of people out there will describe it as modern art. No, I'm right behind your tunnels.
Have you got an underground part of your house? You've got like a little door, haven't you? What have you just done that made all those people laugh?
I think it's because I said I'm right behind your tunnel and people thought it was to do with bumming. So that's why I can't help doing innuendo. It's part of, I've got innuendo in my manifesto. I can't drop it. Do a rhyme like that, Mr. G. In fact, we've got a rhyme. They've got a letter here about Mr. G. Wait a second, it's here on the table. Right, this is the best way to do it, it's in a song. Oh, Mr. G, you lovely, lovely poet. That is why I've written you this song. Some people say poems have to rhyme all the time, but other people say that's effing wrong. Oh, Mr. G, I really, really love ya. Last week your poem was pre-prepared, but none of the listeners were bothered and none of them cared. Right, that's enough poetry for that. Oh, God, that's what my whole life is. Oh, God, there I go again. Oh, I can't get enough of this old Joanna. Tickling the ivories is a way of life for me. So this is from Chris Chang. Dear Russell and Matt, I'm a regular listener and particularly enjoy Mr. G's impressive displays of poetic eloquence at the end of the show. However, I've noticed that although brilliant, G's poems always rhyme. Whilst that ain't a bad thing in itself, I can't help but remember my days at school when our English teacher, Mr. Berry, used to drum into our heads. Oh, did he? That's no way to teach kids, is it? You will learn a bloody poem. You should never drum a kid on the head, because that's where they keep their brains. Like the top of the house is the brain of the house, the front door of the house is the mouth of the house. He drummed it in our heads that poems don't have to rhyme. Does they have to rhyme, says Chris Chang. That is the wrong tense of the verb to do there. Given Mr. G's particular talents, I think he may be the man to prove me wrong and wonder if he could come up with a poem at the end of the show which doesn't rhyme. No, I like 'em rhyming, Chang. What's wrong with you, lad? Poems don't have to rhyme, but it's better if they do. Unless it's one of them sort of like Wasteland T.S. Eliot. Oh, dare I eat a peach? Yes, you dare eat a peach. Eat a peach! So, yeah, or that might be that proof cock Alfred, I don't know, but it's T.S. Eliot anyway. So, Mr. G, will your poem rhyme at the end of the show? G! Where is he?
It will rhyme.
What's he doing? Has he got biscuit tins on his feet? What was that noise when he walked across the studio? Well, he's gone eccentric.
We're still stuck in Wembley Stadium, mate.
That's the best place for you lads. You're much better in front of a crowd. Got some emails here. Hello, lovely Russell, says Catherine. I just wanted to write and say how much I enjoyed Live Earth, blah, blah, blah. We were listening to it on a campsite. There were 4 of us listening to you on a sort of wind tunnel campsite in North Wales, sitting around the dying embers of a disposable barbecue trying to get warm. Oh, that's a depressing image. I had about 4 layers on and a hat and a scarf and gloves, and I was drinking wine out of a plastic mug. Had it not been for your fuzzy brain ramblings, I would have gone home. Luckily, the toilet block also had Radio 2 on, so even when I went for a wee, I could still hear you. Perfect. I think all places of accommodation should take on this initiative. Perhaps they could include it in your revolution. Yeah, well, after the revolution, we will be broadcasting constant messages into a microchip inside your brain. It's going to be great.
That your broadcasts go live to toilets around the world.
I think it is, actually. I like that, because what I like the idea of is people cottaging, frottaging, glory holing, just being able to be in constant touch with the inspiring voice of casual sex. It is me. Anyway, I hope you feel better now. I'm looking forward to the bookie work coming out, and I love your show. I do. That bookie work is killing me, the pressure of it, but I'm working so hard on it.
Because you've left it too late to do your own work, haven't you?
So hard. Right, because what I've done is I've done it all into a tape recorder, then someone else typed it out, and then I've got to go through it and go, oh no, change that, put that bit there, or I didn't mean that, or I'm not admitting to that, or I should never have said that. That was never proven. I'll see you in court, things like that, right? And it's hard. Oh, it's hard, the bookie work, so you better bloody appreciate it and buy it, because I need a bejewelled stairwell to be fitted by the weekend. Yeah, also, I know it is wrong, because one of the main tenets of the revolution will be absolute economic equality, and I swear God, I'll push for it. I just got carried away by the trappings of wealth.
You never live like that.
I will, honestly. I think it doesn't make you happy, like nice luxury things. As long as everywhere, when we live in our pods after the revolution, right, as long as everyone's got Sky Plus, I think, but everyone can have it. We will equal things out.
You're elitist.
I'm not elitist.
What about when you wouldn't go in a normal taxi when you had to have a Mercedes taxi?
When was that?
Around the time of about the last 5 years.
Yeah, but no, remember, I'm struggling with drug addiction. You can't condemn me.
Default to that.
Yep, I can. Struggling with drug
I think everyone should be equal, but you don't really do. Listen, I'm a drug addict. Don't question me. I'm the leader. Right. Go to the gas camps.
I think a little trip to Traitor's Cove might be required for Matt Morgan. These questions might sound a lot more resonant hanging from a cliff edge. No, because I know I've done a lot of silly things. It's very easy. You get caught up in the material world because that's the context we live in. You get caught up in fashion, you get caught up in sex because you live constantly bombarded with it. Images of advertising are around us constantly. Lifestyle choices are incessant and unrelenting. But occasionally you get a little broadcast from inside yourself that makes you realise the only things that are important are love. And though it's hard to relinquish it, I'm part of the celebrity machine and I'm egotistical, so I do get stimulated. But the part of me that is most powerful is the part of me that's spiritual, and I will overcome these things. I pledge that.
As soon as I've got enough bejeweled stuff, I've had my fill of groupies, then watch me. I'm going to be so spiritual.
I really am, because I've got it within me. I will do it. I'm not going to let people down. It's not enough fame, glory, all that. It's meaningless tripe. We've got to do something worthwhile and valuable. The only things that make me happy are when you have beautiful moments with people, when you find someone new and you think, oh, you've made them happy. That is more important. I'm just, because I've got addictive tendencies, I think, oh, yeah, try and fill your life up with glamour and glory. And sex is brilliant fun, isn't it? I mean, that's not just me saying that. Everyone's well into it. But I'm not going to pursue it like this forever. I'm going to grow out of it. I promise. I'm working on it. Now, apparently, Mikey has got a fan group. This is Joe and Pippa. We love you, Mikey. Joe more than me, actually. Are you in this room? Yeah. Oh, my God. They're in this room. They've infiltrated the fortress.
Can they come on camera so I can judge them?
Matt just goes, can you come on camera so I can judge you? They're glorious, beautiful young women.
Which ones?
All of the ones by the piano. These are Joe. Who's Joe and who's Pippa? I'm Joe. I'm Pippa. Hello, Joe and Pippa.
Having a fan club for Mikey it's undermined the fact that I've got a fan club.
It has a bit, but you remember his one's much smaller than your one, because Mikey's fan club is just Joe and Pippa.
Mikey's fan club is fitting under a piano.
Yeah, your whole fan club can fit under the white keys on a piano. So, when I'm on the subject of bloody old Mikey, I'm about to sing and dance. I'll prance around the studio with Mikey's fan club, yeah. Oh, go the old hands, because I've stopped now. So, yeah. Do you know, my whole life is like that. My
I'm
whole
really
life.
glad I can control you with that.
That is essentially my life. Is that? It's like people go like, I sort of go, oh God, I'm tired, I'm depressed. I go, right, you're on stage now. They go, woo, hello, welcome, Ballbacks, Dinkle. Yeah, all right, I've written a book. Then I go slump back. Oh God, where's the cat? I just want to sit down and have a few minutes peace. Russell, you've got a phone interview. Oh, West Ham. No. Right, stop it now, because it's reminded me of my core dilemma too much, like that I'm essentially a puppet. Mikey, Joe and Pippa love you. Joe more than me. You have a MySpace fan group. Mikey is a producer on this show, in case you didn't know it. You are loved dearly. Please say more on the show than Cocoa Pops, because you have a wonderful, interesting contribution to make and a fab accent. We love you. Kiss, 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 kiss. We took extra pains with typing this because you're special and we love you. Why, what's wrong with you? Ain't you got hands? How hard can it be? You have got hands. One of you can play the bloody piano. Leave it! So, yeah. Right, so that's Mikey's fan club. About time Nick had a fan club. He's been on the show a couple of weeks now. G's got a fan club, surely, ain't he? Where's G's fan club? Was it on MySpace? Well, he's got one. G's probably making his way through that now. Calls himself a poet. Essentially, he's just a crusading pervert.
Before the internet, though, a fan club took a lot more work.
Yeah, now all it is just to type something out, isn't it, really? Oh, Mikey's looking up Nick's looking up G's fan club even now, so we'll get some more information on that right away. Yeah, fan clubs now, they're quite easily established, but that's no reason not to appreciate them and to motivate them to vote on the old National TV Awards, Best Entertainer, bother, discover... Oh, yeah, you'll get your bloody tunnel programme out of it. You'll get to wander up and down a little tunnel, coughing and wheezing, you poor old sod, you bloody John Merrick presenter.
If I get that tunnel programme, I'll fill that screen with so much charm that I will win that competition next year.
Your tunnel programme is going to be a bloody washout and a sham.
They'll wheel you out to hand me the award. You'll be so washed up then. With your bookie work, the pop-up version that they had to end up sending out to people because you hadn't done the work.
My bookie work is going to be a bestseller and a hit, and I'll probably
go. Here I am as a baby. Page 2. Here I am now.
Pull this, you can see my nappy come down. Press this button and my microphone wand will extend. That's basically how it happened. Oh yeah, there was a bit when I was on drugs. But I love you! That bookie work is going to be a great work of art. Plus, I'm producing this tunnel show. I'm right behind it. It's going to be... you, boy, will see out my vision. I've always been into this tunnel show. And if I tell you what, if on day one of shooting, you're not ship-shape and ready to go, I will fill you so full of drugs and goofballs.
Honestly, I've learned exactly how to be from you. So, honestly, after an hour of makeup... and a bit where you stare maniacally into a mirror while people put jewels on you. I've seen it all, you know, I'm just going to be so professional.
That is essentially how television's made, yeah. The maniacal stare, vital. The bejeweling, essential.
I went in your dressing room the other day. There was 2 Japanese girls doing your hair. There's a lady doing your makeup. There's someone organising your jewellery on the side of a couch.
What a show, though. What a show. Hey, makes it all worthwhile when you see the product. Russell Brand's Ponderland, that'll be on in October. Look out for that. This is from Ash. I thought this text from Shakespeare and Henry V rather aptly summed up the recent meet and greets on the tour. This is from Ash. Oh, this is good. Oh, now, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, a largesse universal like the sun? His liberal eye doth give to every one a little touch of Russell in the night. Did they replace the word Russell? Still trying to find the bit about effing 6 Scouse girls in one go, but I think it's in either Hamlet or Macbeth.
You
from
didn't,
Ash.
did you?
There was not nearly 6. That's a complete exaggeration.
4, 5?
Yeah, 4 probably. Now... This is from...
How do you do that? How do you organise that? I know how you organise it. I mean, once you're actually there, how do you, carry it out?
Willpower, exertion, and a lot of commitment, and full use of all limbs, head, and the other appendage, the emperor, which governs the whole operation.
How do they know when to swap over? Do you play this?
Right, turn around! Okay!
Oh, hello, you again!
No, it's a giddy old roller coaster ride. You're back already.
Is that carried out in a disabled toilet?
It's very difficult to carry that out.
If you are disabled and you go to one of Russell's gigs and you're busting for a wee afterwards, I mean, join the queue, really.
Listen, a lot of the users of the disabled toilets are in there. I don't keep the door locked, so the primary function is as a lavatory facility. So so they could just carry on. As far as I'm concerned, that lifts the whole experience, makes it more, it enhances equality, and for me, sex appeal as well. I enjoy the whole bus.
You should ask the owners of all the places, the stadiums that you play at, you should ask them to change the sign on it so it just says Russell's Sex Office.
And change that
with
person.
big crazy taps.
Don't have a go at the taps and say that's very insensitive. What
That's
you
not
just said
insensitive
there.
because taps don't have feelings.
Yeah, but you said the taps are crazy, and you gave a pejorative intonation to the taps,
I
which I
wasn't
use
saying
my
anything
people.
about disabled
Sorry,
people.
There's no way you're doing that tunnel show. No way. Forget it. I run this show. Now you hater of people in wheelchairs, you better issue a good apology right away.
I'm sorry to disabled taps.
And people who use them. There, right, that's that dealt with.
They
Now,
probably hate them as well.
I don't think so. I like those taps. So the show's nearly over. I don't think we've got time to speak to Noel, really. We've only got 8 minutes. It'll be berserk. You know what he's like once he starts, he goes on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to ring him up in a minute and just pretend it's on the radio, see if it makes any difference to his personality. G, why don't you do your poem, mate? See what you've...
coming up.
Right, here comes Mr. G in his biscuit tin booties, making his way to the microphone now to regale us all with a poem. Oh, we've got a lot of people in here now. Let's welcome Mr. G, everyone. There you go. There's some atmosphere.
Okay, this poem is called A Letter to the Better. Place a stamp on a letter and post it to the heavens. Seal it with a wish just enough for good measure. For it's moments like this that you'll treasure despite the bad weather, connecting the north to the south with Morrissey to make it better. Write a note to your MP or PM number 10 to see Matt Morgan's secret Jedi tunnels where Russell's goat skulls with the diamonds be, and we finally see the intricate workings of the honeybee, or the slaying of piano playing with a whaley cockney theme. Put a message in a bottle and cast it to the waves. We jump over candlesticks quick to hear a quartet of ninjas singing in the rain. But a noble stand has to be made for the revolution to pave the way. So queue up outside the Camden Ivory Towers to watch us give the bling away.
Yay!
Woo, yes, Mr. G there, that was his poem. Yeah, who were them ninjas? I don't remember them guys. That was good. No, that was a nice poem. I think I need to be more prominent in these poems in future weeks. I've been thinking about it. Let's have that as more. Let's elevate me more. Let's see if we can have words like muscle, tussle, bustle, hustle throughout the poem. That would be an interesting rhyming scheme, particularly for those of you that think that poems don't need rhymes. Bonkers. Okay, well, it's been an intriguing show. Let's recap on some of the main and most important ideas. 1. NationalTVAwards.com. Remember, I've got to be made best entertainer. 2, Hassel Gordon Brown, that shows my priorities. Hassel Gordon Brown to make sure we get this interview, because remember, it can be vital for the old revolution. 3, Hassel Discovery Channel and other... let's focus on Discovery Channel. Say there's not enough tunnel programmes. What do you want? Look at you, you've only been in the game 5 minutes, you've already become a prima donna.
On, sort of BBC 2 or BBC whatever the other ones are.
3 or 4. You might get it on 4. You can't go straight 4.
No,
you
I
have
don't
to
want to go straight there.
You need
really.
a digital apprenticeship, especially for a special interest programme about tunnels. Do you know what I mean? It's not like... It's not Heroes, is it? It's not Lost. It's not a big import from the States.
I mean, it's going to be
We need to build it. And it needs a slow build, this tunnel programme, doesn't it? Also needs a lot more research, does Matt Morgan's Tunnel Vision. So, and also, I don't think your name should be in the title. It will just be called Tunnel Vision, and then your name can
Not
come
Tunnel
up.
Vision, it sounds like Chuckle Vision, and people might
I think
associate me
it
with
should
the Chuckle
be like...
Brothers.
I think you associate yourself with the Chuckle Brothers. That's probably why you're constantly coughing and wheezing these days. Now, come on. So, and finally, what's the other thing we've got to worry about that's quite important? There was something else, wasn't there? We've got that, National TV Awards, Tunnel Programme. Oh, yeah, evolve yourself spiritually and question your attachment to material objects. Very difficult business, isn't it? We've got an awful lot to worry about. Next week's
and here
show...
with a song about that, it's Russell Brand.
I'm not doing that. I do quite... Oh, look inside yourself and remember that the soul is eternal and the material world is infernal. You'll burn in hell, you'll lose as well, so don't let yourself get attached to money and that.
Wow. You can't resist it, can you?
I love that music, man. There's something about it. It's really uplifting. I want that played at my funeral, probably by the end of the week. The pressure's killing me. So, let's all remember, unite, all of us together, keep our revolution going. Next week's show's going to be great. Let's organise things better. Will we be in London or will we be in Dublin next week?
Dublin.
So if you are over in Dublin, remember, come and see me do some stand-up comedy over there. It's going to be brilliant. And also, you can join us for the broadcast, or you can peep through the window. I think we could do it from our hotel. I think think I'm doing the radio show from my bed, a la John and Yoko. But imagine instead of Yoko, John had about 15 people he'd never met in bed with him, all doing a sort of pass the parcel version of sex to a bit of Cockney piano, oh, you go on my legs. Right, so, next week's show is going to be a rip-roaring festival of fun. Mr. G, I'd like to send out a message of support to your dear lovely mum Rita, even though she's in good nick and well at the moment. It can't have been easy bringing up a lad like you. Bob and Sue Morgan, you have my undying support. My dear old mum Babs, God bless you. And my dad Ron, I've not spoke to him for a while, I hope you're alright. My cousin and its hermaphrodite baby, I wish you all the best. Now, I don't know, my feeling is it's a boy. I can't be sure. I'll find out before next week. Now, remember, keep us informed, keep telling us stuff that's important to you. And here's another good thing, we're doing a documentary with Morrissey next year. That's another thing that's happening. Like, when his new album comes out, we're hounding him even now for bright proper good access.
Will you do a documentary with the Smiths about 10 minutes later?
And now if you turn over to E4, you can see Russell Brand with Mike Joyce and Johnny Marr. Hello. Listen, it would be. That actually illustrates how different it would be, because there would be 3 more contributors to the programme and Morrissey wouldn't do it. It would be a very different documentary. So there we are. OK, so what time is it? Because, you know,
I think we've got about a minute left. So
a minute left of lovely old radio.
Lovely old radio. So let's just enjoy it a little bit more.
No way! I like nothing more than to sing myself out. It's been a lovely show. We've got fan clubs for Mikey and G, and there's a lovely fan club for Russell me. Oh, come on, vote for me on the National TV Awards. Oh dear, it's gonna kill me, that energy is. I can feel it. It's making me hot. Yeah, if you're the programme in whole, I'll have done that by now. But come and see the rest of the tour. Where am I? Woking. You can come and see me there if you wanna. Next week, Dublin, Isle of Man. I've never been Isle of Man there, but I've never been there before. But apparently it's a mysterious place. Lots of peculiar things go on there. They've got their own laws, good government. It could be a good study for the revolution. We could learn how to manage an enclave. But until then, I'd like to say to you lovely people, keep downloading our podcast. We're doing that ice cream van thing in September. We're taking a great big fleet of them all around the nation. We're broadcasting live, but Matt will be in a sidecar as a punishment for a lot of his deplorable remarks about the disabled and for his blind ambition in pursuing tunnel programming. Mr. G will be on the roof bellowing his poetry at the world, and Mikey, he'll probably be too caught up with his groupies under a piano somewhere. So why don't we now? That's enough radio, isn't it, for any person?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Okay,
exactly the right amount of filler.
From 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2. You've been listening to Russell Brand.
BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.